Hello, and welcome here. Have you ever felt a deep weariness settling into your bones? A quiet exhaustion that has little to do with your body and everything to do with the posture of your soul. It is the strain of holding a pose you did not choose, of smiling when your heart is still, of nodding along to a chorus you never learned the words to. It is the invisible labor of fitting in, a performance for an audience that is always changing. Let this space be a sanctuary, a place to exhale the person you are pretending to be and inhale the person you truly are. If you find a measure of peace in our time together, perhaps consider subscribing and joining this gentle space dedicated to the journey inward. Your presence here is valued. Now let us begin. Truly powerful people have long quit fitting in. This is not an act of rebellion, but an act of you see, the world taught you that your worth was measured by how well you could assimilate, how seamlessly you could blend into the background of other people's lives, other people's expectations. You were taught to sand down your edges, to mute your colors, to quiet the unique and vibrant song playing in your soul. You learned to be a mirror, reflecting what others wanted to see. But a mirror has no face of its own. It is an existence of perpetual empty. The applause you received for your performance was real, but it was for a ghost. A carefully constructed character you played with masterful skill, and with every standing ovation, you felt a little more hollow, a little more unseen. The loneliness you feel in a crowd is the most profound loneliness of all. It is the loneliness of being misunderstood, not because others cannot see you, but because you have not allowed yourself to be seen. You have become a beautiful, intricate lock, and you have thrown away the key, hoping someone else would be clever enough to pick it. But the truth is, the key was never outside of you. It has always been in your hand. Fitting in is a bargain you make with the world. You trade your authenticity for approval. You trade your inner peace for social acceptance. But it is a currency that devalues over time. The acceptance you crave is conditional, dependent on your continued compliance. You are asked to shrink so that others may feel large. You are asked to be silent so that others' noise may seem like wisdom. You are asked to walk on well-trodden paths so that you do not disturb the dust of convention. But your spirit was not meant for cages, no matter how gilded. Your voice was not meant for echoes, no matter how comforting. The exhaustion you feel is your soul's rebellion. It is a sacred signal. It is the quiet, persistent whisper that says, "No more." It is the ache in your heart that is not a wound, but a longing to come home. The truly powerful have heard this whisper and honored it as a roar. They understood that the greatest power is not in being liked by everyone, but in being unapologetically yourself. So they began the quiet, courageous work of dismantling the facade. Piece by piece, they took down the walls they had built to protect themselves, only to find they were a prison. They stopped asking for permission to exist. They stopped seeking validation in the eyes of others and started to find it in the steady beat of their own heart. This journey is not loud. It is not a declaration of war on the world. It is a quiet peace. It is choosing solitude over company that drains your spirit. It is allowing yourself to be disliked for who you are, rather than loved for who you are not. It is discovering that what you thought was rejection from the world was actually redirection toward your own soul. The space you create by letting go of the need to fit in is not empty. It is fertile ground. It is where your true passions can finally take root. It is where you start to notice the subtle beauty you missed while you were so busy performing. The way the light falls in the late afternoon, the taste of your morning coffee, the comfort of a favorite blanket, the wisdom in a silent moment. Your life becomes a collection of small, sacred joys rather than a frantic pursuit of grand external achievements. You stop measuring your worth by your productivity and start measuring it by your presence. You see them as fellow souls on their own journey. Your relationships transform. They become fewer but deeper. They are built not on shared masks but on shared vulnerabilities, not on mutual convenience but on genuine connection. You attract those who are drawn to your light, not those who are simply seeking a reflection of their own. This is not selfishness, it is self-sovereignty. It is the understanding that you cannot pour from an empty. It is the realization that your greatest gift to the world is not a diluted, compliant version of yourself, but your full, radiant, and authentic being. When you stop fitting in, you do not become an outcast. You become a lighthouse. You stand on your own shore, shining your own light. You do not chase ships, you simply shine, and those who are looking for your kind of light will find their way to you. Your existence becomes a quiet permission. Your peace in your own skin gives them hope that they too can find peace in theirs. So if you feel that weariness, do not despair. It is a sacred calling. Your soul is asking you to come back. It is inviting you to quit the exhausting game of fitting in and to begin the beautiful lifelong journey of becoming. To let go of the need to be understood by everyone and to focus on understanding yourself. To release the desire for truly powerful people have long quit fitting in. They are not powerful because they command armies or build empires. They are powerful because they have commanded their own inner world. They have built a home within themselves, and that is a power that no one can ever take away. Remember, you were not born to be a copy. You were born to be a masterpiece in progress. The cage of fitting in is gilded with the approval of others, but it is a cage. The most profound conversations you will ever have are the ones you have in the quiet of your own heart. Let your silence be a statement, not an absence. The world has enough echoes. What it needs is your voice, even if it trembles. The first step away from the crowd is the first step toward yourself. Their disappointment is not your burden to carry. Their judgment is not your reality to inhabit. Solitude is not emptiness, be its most curious explorer. True power is not the ability to bend others to your will, but the strength to live by your own. The powerful do not shout to be heard. Their presence speaks for them. When you stop trying to be for everyone, you become everything to the right someone. Authentic connection is not about finding someone who is like you, but someone who respects the ways you are not. You will know you have arrived when you no longer need the world to validate the person you are as a truth. Let that truth breathe. Let it expand. Let it fill every room you walk into, not with arrogance, but with a quiet, solid presence. The art of not fitting in is the art of finally trusting yourself, trusting your instincts, trusting your pace, trusting your unique perception of the world. It is the understanding that your perspective is a sacred gift, not a flaw to be corrected. You have spent years learning the language. What does your anger have to teach you? These are the questions that lead to power. Not, what do they want from me? But what does my soul require of me? The process is one of subtraction, not addition. You are not building a new self. You are uncovering the self that has been there all along, buried under layers of expectations, fears, and conditioning. It is an excavation of the soul. With every layer you remove, you will find that the things you thought you needed, the constant validation, the social invitations, the surface, level friendships, were merely anchors holding you in a shallow harbor. When you cut those ropes, you are free to explore the vast, deep ocean of your own being. And yes, the ocean can be frightening. It has storms. It has depths you cannot see. But it also has treasures beyond your wildest imagination. The fear of being alone is replaced by the joy of your own company. You become your own best friend, your most trusted confidant, your most compassionate guide. You learn to entertain your own thoughts, to find comfort in your own silence, to celebrate your own small victories. You stop looking for a savior and realize you are the one you have been waiting for. This is the shift from external seeking to internal finding, from a life of... Notice the energy you reclaim, the mental space that opens up when you are no longer rehearsing conversations, predicting reactions, or replaying social encounters, searching for your mistakes. This energy is your life force. It is the fuel for your creativity, your growth, your healing. Before, it was spent maintaining a persona. Now, it is yours to invest in your reality, invested in learning something new, invested in rest. The world will test you when you begin to change, to honor your own boundaries and speak your own truth. Not everyone will celebrate. Some will be confused. Some will be angry. They will be accustomed to the old you, the one who was predictable, manageable, and accommodating. Your authenticity will feel like a disruption to their world. This is the critical moment. The moment where the temptation to retreat back into the familiar comfort of fitting in will be. It is about their own fear, their own attachment to the role you played in their life. Your only responsibility is to hold steady in your own truth, with compassion but without compromise. Do not argue, do not justify, simply be. Your new way of being is your only necessary statement. Over time, a beautiful sorting process occurs. Those who cannot love the real, you will gently drift away. Let them go with grace. They are making space for those who can. These connections will feel different. They will be nourishing, not draining. They will be rooted in acceptance, not expectation. You will feel seen in a way you never thought possible, and you will realize that true belonging was never about being in the right crowd. It was about being with the right souls. Even if that soul is just your own. On a quiet Tuesday afternoon, you are unlearning the lie that your worth is external. It is not in your job title. It is the simple, undeniable fact of your existence. You are worthy because you are, full stop. Let that truth sink into your bones. Let it be the foundation upon which you rebuild your life. A foundation that cannot be shaken by the opinions of others or the changing tides of fortune. When you live from this place of inner worth, your relationship with the world changes. You no longer need anything from it. You are free to simply to live with an open heart because you know that your core is safe and protected by your own self-love. This is true freedom. This is true power. It is the quiet confidence of a mountain which does not need to prove its strength. It simply is. It is the gentle persistence of a river which does not fight obstacles but flows around them. Ever moving toward the sea, you stop fighting with reality. You stop resisting your own nature. You release the need to manage every outcome, to script every interaction. You trust the flow of your life. You trust that you have the inner resources to handle whatever comes your way. This trust is not blind. It is earned. It is earned through every small act of courage you take, every time you honor your intuition, every time you choose your own peace over others' approval. Every time you sit with your discomfort and learn from it, you are building a deep, unshakable, a primal fear of being cast out. But what you discover on this path is that the ultimate disconnection is the one from yourself, and by healing that primary rift, you heal your relationship with everything else. You find you are never truly alone because you are always connected to the deep well of your own being. You are connected to the natural world. You are connected to the quiet hum of the universe. You are a part of something vast and beautiful. Your quirks, your sensitivities, your unusual passions. These are not liabilities to be hidden. They are your signature. They are the unique frequency you broadcast to the world. To suppress them is to rob the world of your specific magic. Let yourself be strange. Let yourself be different. Let yourself be the person who loves what they love with their whole heart without needing anyone else to understand why. The most interesting people are it is a breath of fresh air in a world filled with performances. Do not mistake this path for one of arrogance or indifference. It is the opposite. It is a path of profound humility and deep compassion. Humility because you recognize you are just one small part of a grand mystery. Compassion because once you have faced your own shadows and embraced your own imperfections, you see the same struggle in everyone else. You no longer judge others for their masks because you remember how heavy your own was. You offer them not advice, but space. The space to be whoever they are in that moment without judgment. Your presence becomes a gift, a quiet permission slip for others to be real. This is how you change the world, not by becoming a leader of a movement, but by becoming the leader of your own life, not by shouting a message, but by living it. They remind others of a possibility they may have forgotten, the possibility of being free. So, what is the next step? It is not a grand gesture. It is the smallest, quietest choice. It is noticing in the next conversation the pull to agree when you do not, and instead choosing a gentle silence, or a simple, "I see it differently." It is noticing the urge to say yes to an invitation that drains you, and instead it is noticing the inner critic that tells you your interests are weird or worthless, and instead dedicating an hour to that very interest with love and attention. It is 1,000 tiny acts of self-loyalty practiced daily that build a life of unshakable power. You are not rejecting the world. You are choosing your relationship with it. You are moving from a position of a beggar, asking for scraps of approval, to a position of you decide what energy you are willing to entertain. You become the gentle, firm gatekeeper of your own peace. This is your birthright. You did not come to this life to be a pale imitation of someone else. You did not come here to spend your precious energy seeking the approval of people who do not know the landscape of your soul. You came here to be you fully deeply. Unapologetically, the journey of quitting fitting in is the journey of remembering or returning to the essential. It is the quietest revolution you will ever lead, and its victory is a peace that surpasses all understanding. Let go of the shoreline. Let go of the need for a map. Your heart is your compass. Your intuition is your true north. Trust them. They know the way home. The world will keep spinning. The crowds will keep chasing the next fleeting trend. The noise will continue, From this place, you can engage with the world with grace and strength. You can love more deeply, you can create more freely, you can live more fully, because you are no longer holding anything back. You are no longer wasting your energy on a performance. All of your energy is available for one thing, the magnificent, ongoing act of being you, and that, in the end, is the most powerful thing you can ever be. This path requires patience. Daze the old habits of people, pleasing will resurface. Be gentle with yourself in these moments. This is not a test to be passed or failed. It is a practice, a daily moment-to-moment practice of choosing yourself, of choosing your truth, of choosing your peace. Each time you make that choice, you strengthen the muscle of your authenticity. You deepen the well of your self-trust. You come one step closer to the freedom you seek. The destination is not a place, but a state of being so grounded in your own truth that the winds of external opinion can no longer sway you. You become a tree with roots running deep into the earth of your own soul. You may bend in the storm, but you will not break, because your foundation is no longer outside of you, it is within. I hope these words have brought you a measure of peace, a moment of recognition. I hope they serve as a gentle. It is about finally, courageously, allowing yourself to be who you have always been. Thank you for being here, for sharing this quiet space. Until next time.